History is full of battles, kings, revolutions, and death. But not all deaths are dignified. Some are just downright strange. From killer turtles to being drowned by clothing, from being killed by a dead man to literally laughing to death. These are the stories of history's most bizarre exits. Here are 10 of the strangest deaths of historical figures that will leave you saying, wait, that actually happened? You may have heard the word draconian used to describe harsh laws. Well, it comes from Draco, an Athenian lawmaker whose laws were so brutal that even petty theft carried the death penalty. But Draco's own end was ironic. According to legend, he gave a speech at a theater in Aegina. The crowd loved it, so much so that they began throwing their cloaks and hats at him, a traditional Greek way of showing admiration. Problem was, they didn't stop. Draco was buried under a mountain of fabric, literally smothered to death by fan appreciation. Adolf Fredrik, King of Sweden, loved food. He wasn't known for politics, war, or reform. He was known for having a very sweet tooth. On February 12, 1771, he sat down for a royal meal. He ate lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, herring, and drank champagne. Then came dessert. 14 servings of his favorite dish, semla, a rich pastry served in warm milk. 14. The feast was too much. He collapsed and died soon after. His cause of death was officially listed as digestive problems. History, however, remembers him by a much more colorful title, the king who ate himself to death. Sigurd Eysteinsson was a Viking Earl of Orkney, a fierce warrior known as Sigurd the Mighty. But, well, it was his arrogance that did him in. After defeating his enemy, Maelbrigta, Sigurd cut off the man's head and tied it to his saddle as a trophy. As he rode home, the head bounced against Sigurd's leg. And, well, one of Brigte's teeth scraped his skin. That small wound, it got infected, and Sigurd, he died from the bite of a dead man. I mean, talk about a posthumous victory. Clement Vallandigham was a lawyer defending a man accused of murder. And the defense? Oh, it was that the victim had accidentally shot himself while drawing his pistol. To prove the theory, Vallandigham decided to demonstrate right there in the courtroom. He picked up a pistol he believed was unloaded, shoved it into his waistband and acted it out. Boom. Yeah, it was loaded. Vallandigham died from the wound, but his client was acquitted, all thanks to that demonstration. He literally gave his life to win the case. Isadora Duncan was a world-famous dancer, graceful, elegant, and dramatic. But her death? Oh, it was a tragic twist of fate. In 1927, she climbed into a convertible in Nice, France. Her signature long silk scarf, known for its elegance, trailed behind her. As the car sped away, the scarf got caught in the wheel axle. It tightened around her neck, snapped her spine, and dragged her from the vehicle. The scarf that made her famous, well, it ended her life. Aeschylus, the ancient Greek playwright, met a death worthy of a tragedy. So, according to legend, Aeschylus was just out for a walk when an eagle, mistaking his shiny bald head for a rock, decided to drop a turtle on him to crack its shell. The turtle, unfortunately, struck Aeschylus right on the head, and, well, killed him instantly. Here's the kicker, though. Aeschylus had been staying outdoors to avoid a prophecy that said he'd die by a falling object. Talk about irony, huh? Maybe he should have just stayed inside. Hans Steininger was the mayor of Braunau am Inn, a town in Upper Austria, and he was famous for, well, one very distinctive thing, his absolutely epic 4-foot-long beard. Now, Hans usually kept this legendary beard rolled up neatly in a leather pouch, but one fateful day he decided to let it hang loose. And wouldn't you know it, that same day a fire broke out in the town. As Hans rushed to help, he tripped over his own beard, tumbled down a flight of stairs, and tragically broke his neck. I mean, talk about a beard to die for, literally. Basil I, founder of the Byzantine Macedonian dynasty, ruled as emperor for 19 years, but, his end came not on the battlefield, but on a hunting trip. While riding, he was suddenly thrown from his horse and, well, gored in the jaw by the antlers of a stag. He was dragged for miles before being found, bloody, broken, and dying. An emperor brought down by Bambi's angry ancestor. Attila the Hun, the so-called Scourge of God, terrorized Europe for decades. He burned cities, defeated Roman armies, and demanded tribute from emperors. But his death? Anticlimactic and weird. On his wedding night, he celebrated a little too hard. He drank, ate, and partied. But when morning came, he was found dead, having drowned in his own nosebleed after passing out drunk. The mighty conqueror of Europe died in his sleep, from a nosebleed. Philosopher Chrysippus was one of the founders of Stoicism. He believed in logic, virtue, and self-control. But his own death? Utterly ridiculous. He saw a donkey eating figs and joked, "Give the donkey wine to wash it down." He found this so funny he began laughing uncontrollably, and didn't stop. He laughed himself into a seizure and died, literally laughing himself to death. History may or may not remember how these people lived, but we'll never forget how they died. Which one shocked you the most? Drop a comment below, give this video a like, and subscribe for more strange, dark, and unbelievable stories from the past. Until next time, stay curious, stay weird.